Hey guys, Roxbox9 here with another card a day in the life of an EDH commander. Today we're going to do actually cards a day because each one of these does not really warrant its own episode. So we're going to discuss the three Eldrazi legends, the powerhouse beater cards that everyone raged about and was frustrated with when they landed because they were so powerful. And let's talk about them in the format of EDH, which is all about the big and powerful. So I'll get Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, out of the way. He's ridiculous, as everyone who's played against him knows, and even in EDH, he's just absurd. So, because he was so unbelievably annoying, and people found ways to cheat him out, and on and on and on, basically, a number of reasons he ended up getting banned in decks of EDH on the official ban list. So, I would recommend keeping him banned. He just makes the game stupid. You can run him as your general, if you'd like, but only as your general. But that's really dumb too, because he's colorless, so you have to make a deck completely colorless, including lands, and he's 15 mana to play. So even though he might end the game when he lands, it seems really just not worth the effort, but you never know, you could use him. Now the more useful guys, because they're not banned, you have Kozilek, the Butcher of Truth, and Ulamog. So let's start with Kozilek. Kozilek is a 10 for a 12/12 body. Whenever you cast him, draw 4 cards, Annihilator 4, which is whenever a creature attacks, the defending player sacrifices 4 permanents. And when it's in the graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. Okay, so he's really interesting. So his cost is pretty heavy, but he's a big card. The issue most found with him is that he's really big. So when you cast him, you draw 4 cards. Many decks want to cheat him out, but you can't really cheat him out from the graveyard, so you have to cheat him out from your hand, and if you cheat him out from your hand, you're not casting him. So cards like Tooth and Nail, Through the Breach, things of that nature that drop him, Show and Tell, I mean, that's a legacy style card, but things like that make him, you can just drop him down. But you generally want to cast him, so in EDH, where the format shifts its curve, the 10 cost is really not bad for what he is. The draw 4 cards is great, it's a huge card draw. I mean, most players would pay 5 of his cost just to do that, and then 5 for a 12/12 body Annihilator. He's great. Annihilator is also good because cards in EDH have a lot of protection, so forcing sacrificial elements from other players is really strong attack. Doesn't even matter that he has trample or whatever. And the shuffling back your graveyard, what's good is that if you sacrifice him for something, or your opponent forces you to get rid of him, he protects your graveyard. So this can be good or bad, but for the most part it's good since you're not going to be generally using him in a Reanimator deck or Dredge deck anyway. So yeah, all the Eldrazi are good. He's really good in EDH, so any big decks, any decks that run big beaters or just wants card advantage, I mean, you can use him for a number of different decks. I see him around all the time. Let's get to Ulamog. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre is 11 for 10/10, so a smaller body itself, more cost, but it's because when he hits play, destroys a permanent, which, as we've discussed, destroying a singular card type is already a limitation in EDH. A single of the card types, so destroying target creature is already a lesser than destroying a permanent, so things like Beast Within are so good because they destroy permanents. So he lands and he destroys a permanent, you can destroy a land, artifact, enchantment, whatever. That's really nice, built in. Annihilator 4, same thing as Kozilek. He's indestructible, so he has great evasion. He's really powerful. It's hard to deal with initially, for the most part, and he also survives wraths, but if you do manage to kill him, put him in your graveyard. So yeah, he's just big, scary beater. Lots of decks run him. Generally aggro decks more than any, but he's phenomenal. So the thing with all the Eldrazi is that they're big targets because they're really powerful. They're also not nearly as unfair in EDH, besides for Emrakul, which we all know is unfair. But these two guys are not nearly as bad because they really have no evasions, no protections. Counterspell, you can counterspell them pretty easily. In single player, generally when they drop, it's still feasible to deal with them because a lot of the spot removal is exile, so they're not protected, and they're just fair for their cost. They're big, they're scary, they're powerful, but they're not broken. At least Kozilek and Ulamog aren't. So in multiplayer, big targets, but then again also even weaker than in 1v1. In terms of their overall scariness, they're not really as bad. So I would say if you have them, definitely consider running them, especially if you're running an aggro deck. But they're just very versatile, powerful cards. So I mean, I'm sure you guys all know this, but it's interesting to kind of look at it through the EDH lens instead of the powerful state in Modern and such. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please check out my channel sponsors below. Keep in mind, for the month of May, if you order $25 or more from APU Games and put the code word ROX90 restored in the comment section of your order, you'll get a free gift. Definitely take advantage of that. Feel free to comment below. ROX90 signing out.